What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nintendo Land, and we are once again jumping back into Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door and comparing it to the original game on the GameCube and looking at all these small and big differences between the two games. We are now moving on to Chapter 3, where we go to Glitzville. So if you're wanting to check out details from other chapters, there is a dedicated playlist for you guys to check out as we move further on with the game. But if you guys have your own details with the current chapter or future chapters in the game or anything else that you found that was different and interesting, definitely comment them down below and you could appear in the next video. Without further ado, let's dive right back into Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door for part 6 of details and differences that you missed. First off, when Mario logs into his Game Boy Advance terminal when he's in the locker room, it used to just make a beep sound. Now it actually plays the Game Boy Advance theme when you turn the console on. In the original game, the crowd is always the same amount of NPCs, whether it's Mario's first battle or his event battle with Rock Hawk at the end. In the remake, the crowd will actually start off very tiny, with hardly anyone in the stadium watching, and then by the time with the event battle with Rock Hawk, it is completely filled shoulder to shoulder. Benjamin Peterson noticed that there is a change with the terminal. You used to only be able to reserve or leave the terminal, and now there's a lot more options, including an option to review the rules and also to go through an exhibition match, which you can play through a past battle that you've already fought. Lighting of the arena is obviously massively different. You would just have a single row of lights above Mario, but now the lights are more dimmed and there's a giant ring of lights all the way around a square, and even lights above that you can't even see shining down from above on the ceiling. If you look at the giant Jumbotron screen in the original, it was kind of pixelated going by horizontal rows, where now it's actually pixelated by individual LED dot lights. You would have missions to complete on each battle. They would actually not tell you what the mission was. If you did forget, you just kind of forgot. Where in the remake, you can actually see it at the bottom left side of the screen, always as a reminder, which is a great new addition. Also, in the original, there were no spotlights on stage when you battled, where now you have spotlights. At the end of Mario's first battle, he will be asked a question from Grubba, and you can actually answer a question based on how you want to answer it, but in the original, there'd be no reaction or emotion from Mario, where in the remake, he'll actually do a little pose, like for instance, make a sigh as if it was too easy for him, which actually gives Mario some personality. I love it. Now, you probably saw this coming, considering the fact that you can now hit any character or NPC with your hammer and get a reaction. You can hit the Yoshi egg with your hammer and it'll also shake and wiggle a little bit. I've said this before, but once again, all the partners have new themes, but here is Yoshi Kid's brand new theme. Yoshi Kid actually has a new running and flutter sound effect. Second Game Boy terminal is a pink color, and in the original you could just see it's a solid color, but in the remake it's actually see-through, kind of like the Game Boys actually are in real life. This is a pretty strange one that I've noticed and I really don't enjoy. In the original, when you jumped on Yoshi's back, you immediately could just start running. But in the remake, for some reason, there's a slow up, and it depends on if you start running and then jump on a Yoshi, but if you just stand still and then jump on Yoshi, you'll have a slow startup, which is just very bulky feeling. It's kind of hard to show, but if you played the original, you definitely would have noticed this. If for any reason you had to redo a fight, whether you died or just didn't complete the challenge correctly, you don't have to watch the cutscene anymore. You can skip it completely, and this goes for any boss fight or any main scene in the game. The store closet room is slightly different in the original, where in the original, the light actually isn't on, and there's more books actually on the shelf in the remake. Now, there is a slight difference with the two slices of cake that is left off to Mario. The first cake given to you by Jolene, which is not poison, it no longer fills your SP, only your HP and your FP. Thanks again, Benjamin. Benjamin with another cool fact, where after the Doll Bones fight, when you hear someone screaming in pain in the hallway, you can now hear audible wheels showing that they're being rolled out on a stretcher. In the original, when you go into the locked storeroom, you'll notice all the lights are on as it's bright and normal looking, where in the remake, it's very dull and dark where there's only one headlight on. In the original, you will find two flattened characters underneath boxes, and in the original, there were actually flies flying around, where in the remake, the flies are gone, but there is more of a dramatic camera angle when you find them. In the original, when you need to rush to the stage to fight Rock Hawk, the music stays the same, mysterious and creepy, where in the remake, it has a brand new theme where it feels like you need to rush and hurry up, and I actually love this addition. In the original, you'll come across a secret room with a television and a light, where in the remake, they actually added moths flying around the table in the light. Small addition, but an addition nevertheless, so it makes me wonder why they removed flies from certain scenes. Bathroom symbol on the door used to have a boy and girl sign, where now it actually just has a picture of a toilet. The original, the bathroom air freshener on the floor used to be yellow, but now it's green for some reason. The original, for both the blue and the red toilets, none of them had floor mats, but for some reason in the remake, they do have floor mats, I guess making them more clean? Rock Hawk's new boss theme is obviously even more focused on rock and roll, and even pulls from some notes and sounds from Origami King, and you can say this with a lot of the music in the game, but this one is very evident. Benjamin Peterson with another fact: with the original battle against Rock Hawk, there was actually a requirement, which means a little mission that you still had to do like the rest of the fights, where this time in the remake, there are no missions at all, just pure fighting, which I do like more. In the original, halfway through the fight, Rock Hawk will grab onto a giant wooden beam at the top of the ceiling, where now the beam is metal. I know, crazy change, right? In the original, when Mario beats Rock Hawk, everyone's cheering and there's just confetti everywhere, but in the remake, he actually is handed the belt and actually puts it on. Kinda like the rug at Madame Flurry's place. When you run through it, there's no ripples in the original, where in the remake, now there's little ripples, which is pretty cool. Picture of Mario above the champion's bed used to have a just regular standing pose of Mario, where now in the remake, he's actually posing with a thumbs up. The original, the grapes on the vines around the room were very tiny and purple, where in the remake, they're a lot bigger and pink. Why? I don't know. Obviously, now Mario can hit things with his hammer and jiggle and shake things around the room, but Madame Flurry can also blow them as well, like she can blow the box of letters. When Mario walks into the ring for the final time to confront Grubba, all the lights will be on, but in the remake, all the lights are shut off, and it's a lot creepier and fits the setting more. When Grubba raises the giant transformation machine with the crystal star, you'll notice that it's green energy flowing through it, which doesn't make a lot of sense because in the remake, it actually makes it to match the color of the star, which is yellow/orange energy. Goes for pretty much every boss battle in the game, but in the original, you would just go straight into the boss battle after the dialogue, but in the remake, it'll actually have a slow-mo shot. Grubba's double attack multiplier is now different, where in the original it is actually just a ×2, but in the remake it actually is a double arrow. Grubba now has a new glow when he's getting ready to charge something up, where it used to just be white lights coming away from him, he actually glows golden now. The defense up symbol is also different in this game as well, where in the original it was just an up arrow with like a little silver rock or something. I really don't know what that was supposed to be, but in the remake it's actually a shell now. In the original, when Prince Mush returns, he kind of just flies out of the crystal star and right back onto the stage, where in the remake he actually comes back out in like spirit form in a light and actually falls to the stage where he's laying on the ground, then drops to one knee and actually stands up. I really do love the new animation in this game. The Shadow Sirens now have a different disappear sound effect. Can't lie, I probably said this one before, but I can't remember, but the lamp on the chair or stairs or stool, whatever that is in the background, is actually off in the original, but in the remake the lamp is on. Get ready to have your minds blown, because in the original the top lockers are actually open with no doors, but in the remake they have doors. In the original, when Peach goes under disguise as an X-Naut, the theme does not change whatsoever. It still plays Princess Peach's theme, but in the remake, it actually has a brand new, undercover, kind of Mission Impossible style theme playing. In the original, when you go talk to Sir Grotus, you could actually run around the room or do whatever you want, but in the remake, it's actually a forced cutscene as soon as you go into the room, I guess making it more realistic because I don't think Grotus would just let you walk around the room all willy-nilly. Plus, Grotus is now up in his throne area instead of by the door. Now shooting over to Bowser for a couple of facts, in the original, Bowser didn't really lean to look into the bush, but also the Elder Queen gets a lot bigger in the remake, like we've already talked about in the last video. In the original, pretty much everyone's in the lobby to greet Mario and his partner before they leave, except for Prince Mush for some reason, but in the remake, Prince Mush is there too. So in the original, there were no posters of Mario in the lobby at this time, and in the remake, yep, there's posters of Mario everywhere. And that was 46 differences between the original and the remake of Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, and that will conclude Chapter 3, where next video we'll move on to Chapter 4 as we're still continuing the rest of this game. But you guys can only make this happen by leaving a like and subscribing and sharing this video, and also just leaving a comment. Interacting with this video helps out more than you think. But let me know if I missed anything or if you found any other facts for the future chapters and you could be featured in the next video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See ya, guys.